So it is officially the 4th of July.
You know, we out here.
Wait, touch my butt, you ass.
That was not me.
Twisting my words and bringing up the past, baby, you know that you better than that. I don't got time to deal with the drama, I bought the Chanel and I got your back.
It is 5:38. I do have a new client.
Just finished up my shoot with Olivia Reeves. This past month, I hit my first $10,000 month. Alright guys, we're back with another vlog. It has been a minute since I have been in front of the camera. I've honestly been juggling so many things at once that I have not really even thought about recording as much of the process as I'd like to, so I'm trying to get better at that. But I am currently on my way to a shoot with Olivia Reeves. If you don't know who that is, roll the footage.
Gold for an American in weightlifting. 40 years in the making. Olivia Reeves has done it.
So yeah, she's done some pretty cool stuff. Olivia and I actually used to be neighbors a long time ago. We went to the same school and our families carpooled together for a little bit. She just got a brand sponsorship and is in need of some content to help promote the collaboration, and I'm gonna be the one doing it. We're kind of speed running this. We're gonna hopefully get all of this done in time, but I'm really excited for the shoot. I typically don't do things like this anymore just because, I mean, like, my entire intention for starting this business wasn't to really label myself as a videographer. I've been trying to move more away from just the one-off videography shoots and just looking more at my agency as a partnership to get businesses from point A to point B. So if that means I learn a new skill in order to get them the genuine best results possible, then so be it, you know? So that's where I'm shifting my agency in the future. But when an opportunity like this comes up and I get to collaborate with other people who are killing it and who I grew up with, I really can't pass up stuff like this. So yeah, I will see you guys there. I just finished up my shoot with Olivia Reeves. If you guys don't know who she is for some reason, go ahead, Olivia.
I'm just the 2024 Olympic gold medalist in the sport of weightlifting.
Boom.
From Chattanooga, Tennessee.
What do you have going on in the next few weeks?
In 3 weeks, I go to Cali, Colombia for Senior Pan Ams, where I help to set some world records.
Where are people finding you on socials?
Olivia Reeves, 71 on Instagram.
Check out her social media to see the final production of what we had going on in here. I just finished up a call with one of my mentors who I've been working a little bit more closely with over the past few weeks. I'm here in South Carolina with one of my good friends' families. They're at the beach currently. I had to stay back because I had some calls and some work I had to take care of. I've got another call in a few hours, but I'm gonna try my best to still get all of the things done that I need to as far as work goes while enjoying my time here. We'll see if we can balance that, but in the meantime, I have some videos I wanna get done. But check out this place, guys. Really nice house. I've been doing some work out here. Right over there. And then the beach is right down there, right past those houses. So it should be a pretty fun time. I'm excited, and yeah, stay tuned.
All right, guys, so it is currently 5:38 in the morning. I've been up for about 40 minutes. Right now I'm building out some funnels for a new client. I know I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I do have a new client and I'm going to be running a webinar for him, which is something new, but I do have some people guiding me along the way and making sure that I do provide something that ends up selling and generating revenue. And this is purely performance based, so I only make money whenever this client makes money. There is that fail safe of if things don't perform as we had expected, then they don't really lose anything financially. So it's kind of a win-win. I'm really excited. I'm actually really confident in it. The only problem is that things are moving incredibly quickly. It's hard to balance all of my other client work on top of this. The beach has been fun. I haven't really been recording much because I've been working the majority of the time, actually. So I'm creating this funnel. I'm also creating email and SMS messages that those who sign up for the webinar would receive. So I'm going ahead and scripting all of that out, and I have to have all of this done by 9 a.m., which is in just over 3 hours. So yeah, we're gonna get to this, get all of this done, continue with other client work. Today is basically just straight work and nothing else. So yeah, I will catch you guys once I have all of this stuff done here. Okay, so I just wanted to share a little bit of my strategy for how I'm doing this. What I've been doing is actually going around and signing up for webinars within the Make Money Online space, and I've been attending these webinars and taking notes of how they're pushing people to drive conversions through that webinar. And I'm just taking those funnels and the copy that they used for all of their SMS and email, and I'm putting it into Claude. So I'm feeding it all of these other past performing webinars and just telling AI to use that as a template and insert all of my current clients' information into this template. So that's helping me speed up the process a lot. It's still very tedious because you have to still put in all of the information and organize all of the information, but once you go through all of that work, this should spit out something that is a lot better than what I could have just done by myself. It is now 7:24 and we have finished the landing page, the thank you confirmation for whenever people sign up, and I've also scripted out all of the email and SMS notifications, which went by a lot quicker than I was expecting it to. I still have an hour and a half before my call, so that leaves me with an hour and a half to catch up on some other client work.
How we doing, sir?
Good. Good, how are you?
That's crazy.
You recording?
I am.
I had those other pages, the exact ones that you had for, and I have content for those. I just didn't know if you wanted me to go ahead and do that or not. Okay, so that call went really well. We got a lot of stuff done. I've got another call at 2 p.m. in a few hours with another potential client. This potential client in particular could be something really huge for me, but it also might be a situation that I just won't be able to take right now because it sounds like he's looking for someone to work more closely directly with him and not as more of an agency where it's a little bit more hands-off. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how this call goes, and until then, I'm just gonna continue doing work. Today's just one of those days where the majority of my time is gonna be spent sitting in front of a computer, either talking to people or editing. Today's kind of a more boring day, but this is what running an agency looks like. Recently, I was watching a podcast from Chris Williamson, the most recent Alex Hormozy podcast, and I don't remember exactly what he said or how Chris framed it, but they were going through Alex Hormozy's tweets, and one of the things that they said, I'm going to paraphrase, is, it's ironic that we give up the thing that we want in the short term in hopes that we'll get it in the long term. And ironically, it ends up not really working out that way, which is kind of funny because, I started this and was interested in growing an agency and making money online from a young age because I was sold this dream of not only financial freedom, but time freedom, location freedom, and all of these other things, which is definitely possible. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the path to get there usually requires you to sacrifice time, location, and financial freedom, which is the very thing that you want, which is very difficult. So I've learned to actually fall in love with the process, as stupid and cliche as it sounds. Now I wake up excited to do these things, and especially whenever I can do it from the beach and a bunch of different locations and am able to travel with clients and still get work done. I wouldn't want to live any other way because I'm the type of person where if I'm not constantly working and I'm just enjoying myself and not being productive, then I feel like I'm wasting my time. I feel like I'm not doing as much as I should. So this is just perfect for me. Yeah, just a little bit of insight into, what normal days look like. 95% of my time is spent doing this exact stuff. And anyone who's been in person with me recently, especially on this trip, knows it. If I get behind on client work or I don't fulfill, then I lose clients, which has a direct impact on my life, my reputation, my financial situation, and I'm just not really willing to sacrifice that. I'm afraid comes off almost as inconsiderate to other people, but it's also something that I continuously have to make a priority, or else there are real world consequences for it, which being 21, a lot of people my age aren't doing this and don't have this much pressure, but again, I wouldn't want it any other way. So I don't want this to sound like I'm complaining or not happy with my current situation. A lot
lot of people just don't understand the behind the scenes of what it actually takes to do this. Although financially I might have a lot of cash flow coming in compared to other people my age, I'm also doing things and spending my time in ways that other people would not ever want to spend their time. Some people my age, like friends of mine, have said, like, I don't know why you're complaining about, you know, not having time to do stuff whenever you're making more money than I am. But then I tell them what a usual day looks like and they're like, yeah, I just want to be able to do it. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's the trade-off, you know, you sacrifice certain things for others. So my hope is that I'm sacrificing the right things right now so that I can provide for other people in the future and live life with time, financial, and location freedom. Maybe not right now, maybe not in the next few years, but eventually. So it's been a few days and a few things have happened. Last time I picked up my camera, I had a few calls scheduled, one with a mentor, another with a potential client, and what happened with that was they actually offered me a full-time job. It was someone within the info space who teaches people how to make and sell their own info product, and he wanted me completely exclusive with him. It would actually be managing their media team as far as getting results via short form and long form content. I talked it over with him and he told me that starting pay would be between 12 to 15K a month within the dating phase of kind of getting a feel of what things would actually look like, and then long term we would incorporate a rev share which would lead to over $25,000 months. So it seemed like a really good opportunity within the short term game, but not long term. And I say that because as I was weighing the decision of whether or not I should actually go through with this, I realized that by doing this, I'm no longer playing by my rules, I'm playing by somebody else's rules. Although I am incentivized to get results because there would be some sort of rev share tied into it, I still don't have full control over what I'm doing anymore. Part of the reason why I started this in the first place was to be able to make my own decisions. And I'm starting to see the potential with doing this and scaling it, and I don't see myself stopping. And I know that by taking an opportunity like that, I would be capping myself to a certain extent, although I would be making more money in the short term. With that being said, I'm incredibly blessed and grateful to have this connection that gave me this job opportunity. I am so incredibly grateful to have met all of these great people along the way in my journey, and I don't see things stopping now.
Take it for the hostess, you guys. All right, guys, we got the little 4th of July low country boil going right now. Got the dads whipping it up. Sausage, corn, shrimp, spice. That's all you need.
Nights like this, there's something mystical about nights like this. Any concept of time don't matter. Thoughts in my mind, fill my eyes with water. I try to talk to God, and I close my eyes, but I don't see anyone. I still pray for forgiveness every time.
All right, so it is officially the 4th of July. We just finished up some pickleball. Donnie was the undisputed champ of the trip until today. Donnie, what happened?
Played my dad, didn't play my best. Had a foot injury earlier in the week that hindered my movement.
Earlier in the week, we're walking in the water and Donnie stepped on a rock, went down, and he's blaming his loss on that. So
Still got a cut on the foot.
you'll see footage of the two of them because they're significantly better than I am. But what's next, Donnie?
Beaching it.
Beaching it.
See, I was like cheersing the camera.
Minus 500 aura. And a 1, 2, 3. That is precious. Y'all want one more? And a 1, 2, 3. Gosh, to be y'all's age again.
Say something for a vlog.
Hold on. Quit touching my butt, you weird ass.
That was not me.
Donnie, how was your 4th of July?
Good, it was good. It was just like nice to be with family and friends.
Yeah, what did you do today?
Started off with pickleball and, you know, just gave it my all on the court, burned a few cows, and then soaked up the time on the beach and had a great night with pizza at the end.
I spent my morning editing, got some 4th of July posts up for clients, and then spent the rest of the day out here on the beach.
His alarm woke me up, but it's super peaceful. It's like, you know, and it was nice.
That is a complete 4th of July. It's been a few weeks since I got back from that trip. A little update of what's happened in the meantime. We have made some serious progress with the webinar. We haven't run the webinar just yet because we're waiting on that approval to go ahead and start sending out texts to people. But I wanted to take this time to talk to you guys and also kind of check in with myself for my own sake, because I realize that I've hit a relatively big milestone within my agency. For some people, it's not a lot. For a lot of people, it is a lot. But before I go into that, I want to let you guys know that I'm removing the 3-month period of hitting my $20,000 a month goal. I'm doing that not because I don't necessarily think that I can hit it, but I've come to understand that for me to hit that goal within that time frame, I'm going to have to cut a lot of corners that I just don't want to cut. By restricting myself to that time frame, I'd be almost sacrificing long-term potential within my agency just to hit a higher goal in the short term. And the last thing that I want to do is continue to scale farther than I already am without having real proper systems on the back end. Because if I continue to scale with just me and outsourcing one thing or two things to some people whenever I'm getting a little overwhelmed, that is not a tried and true system to continue to scale to something like $20,000 a month in the info space doing what I'm doing. So I decided to back off on that. I've also done it because I don't necessarily want to glorify the end goal or the achievement of hitting $20,000 a month. Unfortunately, in business, the only real way to quantify how good your business is by understanding how much value you are bringing to other people, which is usually quantifiable in the amount of money that you yourself are bringing into your business. So that is why a lot of people measure their worth or their business's worth by how much money they're making monthly within the space, is because that's kind of how you can measure how good or how well your business is doing, which I don't want to fall into the trap of glorifying that monthly revenue and that money. I'd much rather focus more on the impact that I'm making for other people and also continuing to scale my agency as quickly as possible, but only doing that while understanding that I am providing equal or if not more value to other people than I am receiving. And in order for me to do that, I need more people involved in this process. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as far as that goes. For complete clarity, not this past month, but the month prior, I hit my first $10,000 month. But with that being said, I'm also currently, as of right now, the least liquid in cash I have ever been in my life. In fact, I had to pull from my taxes this month to pay off my credit cards because of some issues, partly to do with issues with invoicing certain clients, and partly to do with the fact that I am heavily investing everything back into myself at a rate that some people wouldn't recommend, but I know will pay off in the long run. To give you guys more of an understanding, within the past 10 months of doing this full time, I've spent $15,000 on pure information and coaching through mentorships and programs. That's what I'm doing right now to have the knowledge and the help along the way to continue to scale, and just wanted to be transparent with you guys because a lot of people get to $10,000 a month, and whenever I was younger, I always had this impression that, oh, well, if you had $10,000 coming into your name every single month, then life would be perfect. You'd be able to have that dream lifestyle, you'd be able to do whatever you want, which is true to a certain extent, but as I'm still growing my business and turning it into something substantial, it's ironic because what reality looks like is, in order to live that lifestyle in the future, you have to make serious sacrifices up front in the front end. So I haven't really even been able to experience the fruits of all of my work over the past few years yet, and that's okay, because I love what I do. And to put things into perspective for myself, if I were to look at myself 2 or 3 years ago, just graduating high school, and tell myself that I would actually be here right now, I would not have believed anybody at all. I would not have even conceived the thought of what running a webinar for somebody looks like, or how to hit over 500,000 views on a restricted Instagram account for a client. Doing those things 3 years ago, 2 years ago, even a year ago was foreign to me. I knew that it was possible, but I had no clue how to do it, and I also didn't have much confidence in myself to do it. I knew I would eventually get there, But being at step 0 and looking at step 5, 6, it's just hard to fill in the gaps and understand what it looks like when you're there. And I'm telling you that once you're there, it's not that scary. It just feels normal. After hitting this milestone, nothing has changed at all. Life is completely the same. I'm learning that money fixes money problems, but it doesn't fix other problems. Every once in a while, I'm able to go and have fun, or I don't have as much stress as I would working my serving job because of the cash flow coming in. But at other points, like right now, I'm less liquid than I have ever been in my entire life, which is so ironic, you know? And I'm not afraid to admit that or anything, because it's just reality. And my goal is to document my journey in as raw and authentic of a way possible, to give anyone watching clarity and hope that it is possible. This is your sign to continue to go. There are points even now where I'm doubting myself and I don't want to continue. And there's times where I just don't want to get out of bed and want to scroll my phone. And at every stage in the journey, there is discipline and decisions that have to be made to push you through to the next goal that you want to achieve. And it's crazy to think about that I've quit my job and only been doing this full time for 10 months now. And looking back at the past 1 to 2 months, I've had a job offer that would cross $25,000 a month. I shot for an Olympic gold medalist for a 9-figure company. I'm working with one of, if not the biggest knife retailer in the United States, and if not the United States, the world. And every single one of my clients are killing it in their own respective industries. They'd kill it without me, but they're killing even more with the social media content and the strategies that we have in place with them. I am more blessed than anything to be in this position and to be experiencing these things, because it's so easy to get caught up in what you don't have and hard to bring yourself back to reality and understanding what you do have. But I also want you guys to understand that throughout this process, as I've been increasing my monthly revenue, even at where I'm at right now, I feel pressure to continue to scale to even bigger numbers as quickly as possible. And I'm sure that some of that stems from wanting to prove other people wrong. And a lot of it's probably social media, seeing people that are my age or younger hitting bigger revenue goals than I am right now. But by learning from the right people, you come to realize that, first of all, those things that people are sharing on social media aren't always exactly what they seem. And second of all, that's not how you play the long-term game. And I'm not looking to just scale my agency. My plans are to use it as a cash flow business. Maybe in the future, start teaching other people how to do exactly what I've been able to do, and then transition the money that I've made from that cash flow business and make some big boy investments and serious decisions later down the road. That takes a lot of patience, and it is a very long-term goal and a long-term process, but I'm in it for the long run, not the short run. So it's hard to keep your mindset that way whenever there are a lot of people flexing money and throwing money around online. But I'm learning that right now it's important to keep your eye on the long-term goal, not the short-term goal. I'm learning that also as you're continuing to reach new revenue goals, the more time that your business takes up until you delegate the most time-consuming things. And because of that, I've been feeling that I've been putting my faith on the back burner again, because I've been so busy within my business and scaling my agency and making sure that clients hit results and that we're hitting proper deadlines. And I think part of that truly is being too busy, and part of that is just being too distracted to give God the time and attention that he deserves. You know, whenever I wake up in the morning, the first thing I'm thinking is, okay, what do I need to get done in terms of business, rather than, okay, how can I spend time with God? How can I serve God today? That's something that I can change within myself, and that is fully on me to discipline myself to do that. But it's really difficult whenever you have those high responsibility tasks that you have to take care of. A lot of people don't say it, but I do think that money changes people in a specific way. Not necessarily the way that you would expect, not the way that people generally tell you on social media, but it can change you. A lot of people say that money is an amplifier, so it amplifies the person that you currently are. You know, someone who is a great person without money will just be amplified into a better person when they have money, and someone who is a terrible person without money is amplified into a even worse person with money. I'm not saying that that's not necessarily true, but I've felt pulls from the world in ways that people don't necessarily talk about. For example, at times I've started to place my value based on how much monthly revenue I'm doing rather than how God views me. I start prioritizing my lifestyle and how it serves me rather than how it can serve other people. And like I said earlier, your priorities start subtly shifting if you don't take the time to be aware that they're shifting and then recorrect them. And so with that being said, I've started to wrestle more and more with this question of, can worldly excellence and a true pursuit of God coexist at the same time? And that doesn't mean just prioritizing wealth and materialism and then slapping a I love Jesus sticker on the front. I mean, truly having God first in your heart, in the things that you say and the actions that you do. Can you still do that and chase perfectionism within the world, whether that's financially or whatever it is? Can those two things even coexist? Because like I said, as I've continued to scale my business, I feel like there is more pressure from the world to scale even further, or to impress other people, or to elevate myself over other people, whenever Christ doesn't preach any of that. And I've never felt that pressure at any point in my life until now. And if anyone else feels that way, just know that I'm feeling that too. Obviously, I don't have everything figured out. Sure, I've learned a lot about content creation and business over the past year or so, but that doesn't mean I know everything. So I'm continuing to learn, continuing to push forward, and I'm excited to see where things go because I don't see things stopping here. It's just as much of a grind now as it was before, just in a different way with different problems, and life just looks a little bit different than it did before. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing any content where I just go into breaking down how I've been able to get from $0 to $10,000 a month within my business, because I truly do want to help other people and inspire other people to take action, because I'm nobody special. I don't have a college degree. I shouldn't be here according to other people, but I'm here within 10 months and I'm just going to continue scaling farther. If I can do it, you can do it. Take the action. It's not easy, but it is simple. Learn what you need to do, take action, don't stop until you've achieved it. So I seriously appreciate everyone who's watched this far into the video. Drop any comments about what you'd like to see in the future, and that wraps up this one. I will continue to pump out some more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. What you guys say, Will?
You know, we out here. I don't know.